In this lesson, I want to show you how to use Desmos to graph the sine and the cosine functions. So if you want to graph the cosine function with Desmos, all you need to do is to bring up Desmos. So you need to type in www.desmos.com/calculator, or you can just search for it on Google. As soon as the Desmos come up, you can type in f of x equals to sine of x. You can either type the trigonometric functions in directly, or you can also go to functions, okay, by bringing up the keyboard of, this is the keyboard sign for Desmos. And here you are going to see these functions. So if you click on it, trig functions, which is the trigonometry, is the first one. So you can see sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So, and one other thing to note is that when you are graphing the trigonometric function using Desmos, the default measure of your angles is radians. That's the default measure. So if you want the angles, that is the x-axis, to be in degrees, then you have to change it to degrees here, okay? So, but right now, I'm just going to leave it as radians. Okay, again, the x-axis is in radians, and the y-axis is what is showing you the value of your function, okay? So now, I just want to show you how easy Desmos is. This is the sine function, and if you zoom it in, you can just use two fingers. If you have a touch screen, or you can use your mouse. So you can see that the sine function actually look like a wave, okay? And that is why we call it sinusoidal, okay? I will write that on here for you. So it is called sinusoidal, okay? Both sine and cosine, they both are called sinusoidal functions because they follow that, they look like that wave, and the wave continues forever. So for sine and cosine, the domain is from negative infinity to positive infinity, because you can see keeps going on forever and forever. Okay, so and then the range, let's look at the range. So it goes from -1 to 1. So the minimum value is -1 and the maximum value is 1. So the range goes from -1 to 1. So that's one thing. And then you can see that I'm just touching each of those points where the graph of the sine crosses the x-axis. You can just touch it and it will show you the value right there. You can see that the sine started from 0, 0. So the sine of 0 is 0. Okay. The sine of pi over 2, which is the 90 degrees, is 1. The sine of pi, which is 180 degrees, is 0. Okay. The sine of 3 pi over 2, which is 270 degrees, is -1. And the sine of 2 pi, which is 360 degrees, is 0 again. And the same thing, if you go in the negative direction, okay, you can just see this. Okay, so this is why Desmos is very easy to use, because these values, you can just touch them and it will give you, or you can point to them using your mouse. It will give you the values at that point. Okay, so again, this is how to graph it, and we have seen it now. So let's say I want to change this to degrees. Okay, I want to change this to degrees. So what do I need to do? I just press this degree, okay? And you can see that the wave kind of flat out. That is because the value of our axis is too small now in this case. Okay, so let's increase the x maybe to like 750, and you can now see, okay, that's okay. Now the sine of 0 degrees is 0, the sine of 90 degrees is 1, just like we've seen before. Okay, the sine of like 360 degrees is 0. So now your x-axis is now angles in degrees. And that's it for the sine function. So let's graph the cosine function. So now we can say equals to cosine. Again, I'm just writing, or you can just come here again and just press cosine function. Okay, that will give you your cosine function. Okay, of x. Okay, that's the cosine. So why the sine function start from the 0, 0, you can see that the cosine function start at the maximum point. So because the cosine of 0 is 1, okay? So that's why it's starting at the maximum point. Again, just like you've seen for the sine, you can also just click on the values and it will show you the value of the function at all these particular respective angles, okay, in radians. So this is how to graph sine and cosine function using Desmos. So it's this easy. So thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. Have a nice day.